well known for the obviously Village of the Damned back in the 1600s. So in 1665, obviously the plague came through from London, and basically it got here on a piece of cloth. So we'll go down soon to the plague cottages. Now this piece of cloth was delivered to one of the tailors in the cottages down there. We'll show you the very cottage that it happened in. And in this cloth, it was very damp and it had like fleas in it and stuff like that. And of course, so when they opened it out, they would try to dry it out on the fire. And by actually drying it out, they woke up the fleas.
And that's when you started getting itchy.
Yeah. So that was the tailor's like servant that started to get like very itchy, and that within 7 days he was dead of the plague.
And it jumped, didn't it?
It jumped from house to house. The whole family was killed within a week. And then it jumped to the next house and the next house. It spread quite rapidly amongst the village. I'll tell you some more as we go up. But as we walk up, you'll see on like all the houses, they have plaques.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the plaques are in memory of the people that died here, because.
And where it jumped to.
There's only one person that died of the plague that's actually buried in the churchyard. Everyone else is buried in people's back gardens.
And that was an agreement that they made as well, that would happen.
Yeah, so what basically happened was, so when the plague started in the tailor's shop, everybody wanted to leave, as you would. You don't want to be anywhere near it, and they all came together with the Reverend. I think William was his name, wasn't it?
Yeah, William one person.
Yes, they came together with him. And they all agreed to basically like lockdown, like we're doing at the moment, to lock down the village. No one could leave.
No one could enter.
Plague where it is. Now, by doing this. That cow's already like I feel like he's going to come through that fence. By doing this, over 260 odd people died, and the numbers are debated. There's not the official figures that are recorded. 263 that's in the church there.
They think roughly about 400 people lived here at the time.
So over half the people here died of the plague when it came through. But they did successfully stop it spreading to Sheffield, which is the most nearby town.
Yeah.
And they were successful in that, so it was almost like a self-sacrifice that they did at the time.
They really were heroes, really.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll wander down. As in, we'll tell you a bit more as we wander along. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here, this path runs all the way up to the top of this hill, and when the plague was on, the locals, obviously because they needed food from the surrounding area, there's a fence right at the top. If you walk all the way, we're not going up that way, but there's a fence, and just before the fence is like a sandstone, like almost table, and it's got like a well in it, a deep well. And what they used to do, because the people drop off the food and to stop contamination, this well was full of vinegar, and they'd pass money through the vinegar to the people on the other side, so like disinfect it, like we use hand gel, same sort of thing. That's what they used back then, to try and stop the spread, which was successful.
Also as well, you remember the, I don't know whether you know, the witch doctors, where they had the big leather face masks, and that was one way that they believed that they would fill these masks with flowers and that to stop obviously the spread of the infection. It would protect them, and obviously it didn't, but that's what they believed at the time.
The sort of the hub of the village. The villagers would meet here. They would collect the food from what's now called Montpass as well. They would bring it here. They would sort of share it out. In this area as well, they did try to do some sort of self-treatment, and quite barbaric actually. They thought by maybe trying to seal some of the sores up, it would sort of stop them breaking out any further, so they would use like hot irons to try that. They would also try bloodletting, so they would sort of cut and try sort of the bloodletting methods. Sadly, none of it worked. And a bit like today as well, really, this is a typical example. The family of the John Torr's house there, he died in July. His son, 8 months, died on the 3rd of August. His wife survived. So there was some, very rare, but there was some people who were actually immune to it. So they could get bit by the flea, but they never sort of developed into the full play. Which again, something like today's, what we've got today. So yeah, quite a hive activities, sort of cottages over there with sort of more sort of deaths on, cottages up there with more deaths on further up there. So the population of the village it's a little bit difficult to give you the exact figure because there's a lot of sort of travelling farmers, with it being seasonal. It's estimated there was around 400. And in the 14-month period from the cloth arriving, 14 months later, 300 had been sort of wiped out, so virtually wiped out the mobile 100. Now, a lot of people don't know that they're called the Riley graves. They're called the Riley graves purely because they're on Riley land, which is now owned by a farmer called Riley. It's actually the graves of the Hancock family. If you read a book called The Rose of Eyam, people often think that the poor unfortunate souls that lost their lives in the village to the plague, they were actually brought up here in horse and cart and buried on the side of the hill. It's a fictional book rather than factual information. There was two families that lived at the top of this lane. One was called the Talbot family, the other one was called the Hancock family. And they felt by being probably about a mile away from the sort of epicentre, if you like, they were going to be safe. They weren't. We're not sure how the plague managed to get from the sort of the final cottage up to the Talbot family, but it did. There were 7 members of the Talbot family, ranging from the great-grandmother, who was in her 80s, down to Catherine Talbot, who was 3 months old. Their closest neighbours were the Hancock family, and they lived on just a little bit further up the lane on the side of the hill. We're going to go there and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. What we get in this area, the sort of paranormal activity that we've experienced before, tends to be the sort of children. We hear the sort of laughter of children. We've heard the laughter of children before.
It's eerie. I think it's eerie. The whole walk-up's eerie.
Yeah.
To begin with, I'm not picking up anything at the moment. If there's any children with us, you'd like to come forward. We don't mean you any harm.
You're being killed.
Sounds like it.
Could you come forward to us? We don't mean you any harm.
So what's the lady's name with the white coat on?
Oh, Tilly.
Tilly.
Yeah.
Okay, and yours spiked.
Yeah, I went to the yellow one like twice.
Yeah.
I just did a green flashing light.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Since we've been talking about children.
Can't see it.
Can you come close to the ladies? Get one of those stand by the men. Most of us are mums. I'll just get going like she got like a long white dress on but blue like a blue pink thing on it. That makes sense. And blonde hair. Got blonde hair.
Little, small.
Only little, about 6 or 7.
Maybe wearing a penny. Maybe wearing a penny.
Yeah, like a pinny thing over a dress. You know, like to keep clean, don't you?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I feel like she runs around. I don't know if anyone has ever seen her before. Because I've never been here.
No, it's more sort of laughter that we've heard before. We haven't heard a bell.
I could physically see that
Strange sort of
girl.
bell sound.
I just feel like she runs around now. Could you make a noise for us?
Any of the children here with us now, do you used to play in the woods? Some of these lovely people are holding a box with a green light on. can't harm you if you just go close by to it. It'll just help us.
I've got a headache as well. There's something here because I've got a headache as well.
Okay.
Got pressure. Can you play with the balls if there's anything other than children here as well? You can touch them and light them up. You've got two things on the floor that will light up if you go close to it. They won't hurt you. Just draw that hill more than that's. You can do something. You don't mean you any harm. You want us to go further up.
Tearful. No, are you picking up an emotion?
I do feel tearful. Well, I felt tearful ever since I've been here. But I do feel it coming again. What's your name? Last name Talbot. More drawn to that name than the other one.
Yeah. We are closer to the Talbot residence than the Hancock residence. Did you just hear something behind you?
No?
I just saw you turn around and you know you got a crowing.
Yeah.
There was something lower.
Not that I know. No.
And it was just at the same time as you turn around, you were just like
In the flash, yeah.
yeah, just at the same time as you turn around.
There's something here. There is something. Maybe they don't look like that now. Do you like the birds?
Both of the lights that are going off are right next to you, see. So maybe the spirits around you.
It's like gone.
Neil's
Like
lights
there's no
going
sound.
off.
Like it's gone like definitely low,
Yeah,
and that's a change for me.
yeah.
Come out the shadows, please. I mean you no harm.
Are there children around? The little girl?
I think it's a man. I don't know.
Is that what you feel,
but
yeah?
I feel like it's a man.
Yeah, that's
Well,
good.
to be honest, they do get a feeling of a man as well further up, so it's not strange to feel that.
And it's always, for some reason, like when we hear earlier as well, people saying the same thing, that hill up there, they feel like somebody's watching them.
It's got a really, really awful feeling though.
Yeah?
Oh,
That's like,
Just over in that direction, you can see it's like home. That was where the Hancock's house was. Okay? So this wall has actually been built after, just to protect the graves a little bit from the elements. So yeah, we would have been basically in the Hancock's garden. Now we're roughly a mile from the village. The Hancocks thought they were going to be safe from the plague. Their closest neighbours were just sort of on the edge of the tree line, just this way to the edge of the tree line. That was the Talbot family. There's 7 graves in where you are now. The plague arrived at the Talbot family's house. So we've got grandmother, 85, and we've got 6 other people, sons, father-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, right down to a 3-month-old Catherine Talbot. The plague arrived, and within 7 days, all that was left was grandmother Talbot and the 3-month-old Catherine Talbot. It is believed that the plague was brought to the Hancock family because they had to help the old grandmother bury the last of her grandchildren. Shortly after that, the grandmother of 85, she died. The little 3-month Catherine was left on her own. The Hancock family took her in, probably the biggest mistake they made. Within 3 days of taking in little Catherine, the whole family had died. The only one remaining was Mary Hancock, the mother. Her grave's not here. She was immune, but she had to bury all her family. She buried her husband, she buried her sons, she buried her daughters. She lost heart at that point, and she was the only other person that left the village while they were in quarantine. She went to live with her only surviving son in Sheffield. Thankfully, she didn't take any of the plague fleas with her, otherwise the story would have ended slightly differently. So that's why we've got this poor family here. Again, the whole village is surrounded by a story of selflessness, I suppose, but almost bravery, and if they hadn't have followed the instructions from Reverend Montpesson, the the northwest as it stands now may have been a completely different story. So yeah, definitely an active grave. I can see flashing lights. So is that?
That's the ball.
Is it going off?
Yeah, it's been going off all the time I've stood here.
Have you been holding it or?
No, it's on the wall. I put it on the wall.
Okay.
Oh,
Look.
gone again.
There's my hands. You have to touch it, don't you?
I just noticed it while I was talking.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Are you by me? Do you want to play? Do you want to move the lights in the middle? Go and touch that other light, the green light in the middle. Come do it for me. Is it the children playing with the ball? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going again.
Do you want to play another game? Why don't you go inside and play that other green light? Look, go and touch it. And that will make pretty colours. You see it lights up? Wow. Isn't that good?
Why is it still
You
going
don't
off?
do it.
I don't know, it shouldn't be doing that at all.
That should be going off.
What's that mean?
That normally it's
As soon as you stop touching it, should stop.
Like, I'll do it again.
I've moved away from the ball as well. So you
That's
know
what you
I'm
should do.
definitely not touching it.
Was your name Hancock? Hancock.
Oh, she answered to Catherine before.
Hmm?
She answered to Catherine.
Could it be a different one?
She said she was down the road with us by the woods. Are you Catherine? Are you Catherine Talbot?
We've got a different spirit with us now. Maybe from one of the Hancock family?
Could be just playing games then.
Yeah, people can say could be playing games.
Is this where you lived? Is this where your house was? If there's anybody at all that's in this group of people that you maybe feel drawn to, feel safe with, could you go and stand with them?
There you go. And that doesn't do that, you have to physically touch it.
Yeah, it's good.
See if you can make it light up brighter. Scared it off now.
I've asked him to stand by someone. You should all introduce yourself.
Would you like us to introduce ourselves?
Say one of our names. Do it then.
Is that the other one going off?
Yeah, on the grave. Yeah.
Do you want us to leave?
What was that?
Oh,
That ball keeps going off, you know.
Headstone.
Headstone.
That word's never come up on that.
Did you see it?
No, I turned
Headstone.
away.
Headstone.
It's level.
Level.
Is that you speaking to us?
I'm sure.
You're talking about the headstones that are around us? That's obviously we've used that for probably over a year. Never had headstone come up, ever.
Headstone level itself.
You alright?
someone just touched my thumb.
Really?
I'm sure I just.
You alright?
Yeah, we're back.
What, touched your foot or
My thumb.
your thumb? And we just had activity on that same headstone as well.
Yeah, called headstone level itself.
Honestly, I just stood there and it,
So it
it was
touched your
like
thumb?
someone just touched my thumb.
Wow.
He stroked my thumb, whatever it was. I'm like, right, I'm off.
If there's any spirits there, are you able to tell us your name, please?
Thank you for that. That's very clever.
See if you can make it light up blue. Come on, make it light up blue, please.
So there's something constantly touching it. It shouldn't still be going off. That's excellent. Thank you for that.
Is that a child spirit?
Yeah. Is that the little girl?
We've got the Talbots here.
Yeah, hello. Man said hello. Weapon? Is there a reason why you said weapon for us? What did I say? Are you around? Are you making the device go off?
Let's say Ed. Is there an Ed that was here?
Are you a good spirit?
Ah, you're a good spirit. Thank you for
There you
doing
go.
that. Thank you for lighting the ball up.
Are you a member of the Talbot family, are you? Thank you.
Talbots.
That's fantastic. Are you loving that, aren't you?
You like the ball?
Is that Catherine?
Ah.
There you go. So that's like inside there's like a little wire.
Feel that.
If you're
Still going.
Is it you in your pocket? Oh, you must have something.
I know I heard what you heard there.
You're wearing something, are you?
I've got to do this.
If you're a female spirit, can you light the ball up, please? If you're a female. If you're a male spirit, can you light the ball up, please? Ah, you're a male spirit.
Oops, it got.
Ask me once it goes back off again.
Are you in the...
Lights too much.
You're waiting for me to ask something, are you? Do you guys want to ask a question? See if it'll answer you. Wait for it to stop. There you go.
No, still likes it.
You like playing with that ball, don't you? That you can't. That can't go off unless you like
Well, there's no
move the
wind
thing inside
really,
of it.
So
You have to move the device inside it. That's why we like using these things, because it almost like proves that there's something there.
yeah,
It shouldn't be doing that.
that's crazy. That
It's still going.
curse.
That's going constantly now.
It just flashed up curse. Why did you say curse?
Tom.
Oh,
Ah, and that's your
freaking
name.
heck.
Are you cursed?
You've got the McIntyre curse.
I have got the McIntyre. I see it
He's
now.
got really bad luck, so it's like renowned for his
Well
hard
enough
luck.
as
Didn't
well.
it say Ed as well?
Yeah, it did say Ed. It said Ed Loads.
Is Ed? Are you here with me?
It was saying it on the Necrophonic app.
Ed. Basically, long story, but Ed is the guy that was affecting me in that place I was telling you about, and we think he follows me now.
Chest. Have you affected someone's chest?
That's just said I had it. Are they on about the plague, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Because it does affect your
Or
chest
you've got
as well.
you said you got a lung problem, haven't you?
Yeah.
It should come to you. It's still constantly going. That's incredible.
Are you getting all that footage?
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if I didn't press record. Come on, we're going soon.
See if you can affect the other device. It's on the floor, the one that's green. Like a green
Come and touch
light.
the green light again.
I know you really like the cat ball.
Thank you for that. Can you leave the cat ball alone now and touch the green light?
It might be because it's really
No.
easy to affect that one.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to move it.
You might put it off now then.
I might off, but it might not.
Come on, we're going soon. Can you give us another word on the device that means something to one of us? Or just laugh.
Yeah, it does. See if you can affect the ball again on the floor. I've moved it. Right, we're going to say goodbye now.
Can you
say goodbye on the
spirit box?
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's
That's
advice.
when it's good to say goodbye.
That is advice, definitely.
Bye.